Hi and welcome to this video log with me, Wayne from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. Well, some of you will know that I was at a swimming camp last week in Fuerteventura, and I was using this, trying to use it to see if it was good for following swimmers in the pool. Now that's easy in Fuerteventura because it's an open air pool, but I really do think that these potentially can be used in indoor pools because they're now becoming so good with sensors at the front, the back and the sides that they won't actually hit anything. And if they can stay above a swimmer and follow them down a pool, then that actually is a super thing to use as a coach for analysis. Now obviously with the drone you have to actually watch what you're doing. You can't just leave it go, so you can't use it all the time if you're alone coaching. I did have some people helping me, so that's when I tended to use the drone, with them supporting me on poolside. You can, it turns out, use the follow me feature on the drone, so you can actually follow a subject without actually having to touch any of the controls whatsoever, and that is really useful. But you might be interested in some of the footage I got. Let's go to the computer, we'll have a look and I'll show you what I mean. So here we are with the drone right at the end of the pool, and we've really got two swimmers just about to leave doing butterfly, that one and that one. Let's see what we can see. We'll just slow that down a touch and let them go. Now with both, we've got a really nice streamline. You can see that streamlining is exceptionally good. As they get into the stroke, we can see on the left where the entry is, the outsweep, and that's quite a narrow outsweep. He's really grabbing the water far from the body, so he's virtually got the water there, and that's well above his head, and then in sweep under the body and out again. With the girl on the right, we can see an entry about the same, slightly wider out sweep, so she's catching the water slightly later. And if you see what I mean, she's catching the water somewhere there. Her elbows are back. If you look at it, I'll just clear that. Her elbows are back, whereas if you look at the boy, he's grabbing it and his elbows are there when he's grabbing it, so we get a slight difference if we roll that forward. You see there that the elbows are slightly further back on that one. So you can see things with the drone that you can't necessarily see in normal video. You can also use the drone for more in-depth analysis. We've just got someone coming into view that we want to follow. I want to follow them for a reason. We've got something going on with this hand-centricness. And you can see as he throws his hand forward, the body is actually starting to curve. And that generally happens with people who effectively throw the hand forward in a circle. And you can see this quite clearly with this swimmer. If I slow it down, you'll see it twist to one side. As his hand goes in, it twists. And you can see his whole body has taken on a U shape there. And as we go to the other side, when he breathes, his head's going back in late, but that hand is still being brought round and over. So the head's coming back in late, and you can see he's already, by the time his head's getting back in the water, he's already got a really deep curve on that body. Now we want to cure that if we can. You can see the swimmer on the inside is actually catching up stroke by stroke. He's no stronger than the other swimmer, but he will catch him up because he has a better stroke and a straighter stroke. So just as a final example, we want to look at this swimmer here who's doing something odd with her right arm. If you can see there, it looks okay, and there it looks okay where she breathes to the left, but when she's normally swimming we can see it really sweep wide out and her head's looking forward and she's losing the catch. She's effectively catching the water there, which is right by her body. We really want her to catch the water out there by keeping the elbow high and dropping the hand. And that's also doing another thing, that sweep out wide. It's bending her body in a slight curve, which we also want to eliminate if we possibly can. So there's a couple of things that we can see here that we really want to eliminate if we can. So as you see, you can get some very useful footage just by following above from the drone. And you see a perspective that you can't normally see, just following someone down a complete length or most of a length. And from that you can actually do some analysis that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise, and I think that's incredibly useful. As I say, we could use these indoors in a pool, but there's a few things you have to clear first. Firstly, it probably has to be just you in the pool, so if you've got the whole pool as a club, you might be able to use it. Secondly, you must make sure that you've turned off the return to home feature, because if the drone loses signal with the control, then it tends to rise 30 meters and head for home. And if it does that in a swimming pool, you're in big trouble, because most roofs are shorter than 30 meters. And you'll hit the roof and you'll come straight down and hit someone. So things like that you have to take care of first, but it's perfectly possible to use it in a swimming pool indoors as well as outdoors, although obviously in Fuerteventura we were outdoors. Okay, so that's it for this week. Remember, I think drones are an incredibly useful tool for coaches to follow swimmers, athletes, triathletes, runners, even cyclists, and it's the only way you can really get footage that you might not be able to get in a static position. That's all for this week. Remember, like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. Enjoy your training, enjoy your racing, keep up.